What is up, my YouTube family? Just want to show you what I've been eating for breakfast. Alright, first things first, I'm about finished. Yogurt with some blueberries. About 170 grams worth of yogurt, Greek yogurt, and then 150 grams worth of blueberries. 4 slices of toast with honey on top. I'm not really measuring the honey out, but each of those slices of toast is about 110 grams. I got hard-boiled eggs boiling right now, and then I'm gonna have some bacon, which I'm just throwing in the oven. Not my favorite way to have bacon, but it is definitely, as far as everything going on in the kitchen, the easiest and most convenient way of going about it. All right, I hope you guys enjoy this video. It is upper body, and then I got a bit of a car talk at the end. All right. Yes.
passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you are behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. I never got anyone's help, I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.
Alright guys, welcome to the car talk. Look at that. Got my milk jug with water in it. Very nice. And this thing cost me, this is like a thick glass bottle. Perfect for clean. Perfect for any type of liquid. Glass bottle itself cost me $3. So everyone with their fancy water bottles, 20 something bucks. Ridiculous. Anyways, let's review day 2, and then I just finished day 3. I'll make one video with them together. So day 2, chin-ups. Went with the neutral grip chin-up, and the reason is because I was starting to develop some bicep tendonitis, okay? We can talk about a little bit about what to do when you start to develop bicep tendonitis. But right now, did some neutral grip chin-ups. Heavy. Pretty happy with the 145 on my last set. That felt pretty solid. The sets with 135 also felt pretty solid. Very happy with how my the chin-up game is going. I looked at the video and I keep losing my tripods. So I keep losing my tripod, so I took this thing it's not even a tripod necessarily. It's something to kind of set up like crap. I forgot what you would call it, but basically you can hang like a blanket on it, like a backdrop. That's what it's called. You can hang a backdrop on it. So I just took the tripod setup from that, kind of jimmy rigged a phone holder onto it, and then that's what you guys are looking at me through right now. And it allows me to go up a lot higher, and I was zooming into the video, and it does. I definitely have my chin above the line of the bar there. So I feel like I'm clearing the bar. I feel like it's very close to competition standard for the chin up. And given my body weight of 250 pounds, and I'm doing chin ups 4 reps with 145, pretty happy with that. Clean. Went to the dips, and the same thing, the bicep tendonitis, it's not bad. It's way better than it was last week. Way better. It's an acute thing, not a chronic thing. The last thing you wanted to do is develop any injury that's acute. You got to take care of it right then and there. Listen to your body and make sure it does not develop into something chronic. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So I threw on those knee sleeves, SBD mediums. Threw those knee sleeves over my arms. They acted like elbow sleeves, gave me great compression, didn't bother my elbow at all. I was able to perform both the dips and the overhead press with no pain. So very happy about that too. And what the bicep does, although it's not a direct muscle involved in, pressing, right? It's not like dips are going to grow huge, tremendous biceps. But the bicep does act to stabilize your shoulder and your elbow during the dip, during the overhead press, during the bench press. So it's important that you're doing proper bicep training to grow a bigger, stronger muscle, even to just aid your bench press. If all you cared about was powerlifting, squat, bench, and deadlift, hitting arms, hitting your biceps seriously, and with the intent of actually growing some muscle there. I mean, one, creates a bigger arm, so you can create, it's more mass to kind of compress at the bottom position of like a bench press. So that's one. And then two, it acts to stabilize your bench press. Anytime I've ever had like bicep tendonitis issues on the bench press, I gotta look back to my bicep training, make sure I'm doing it correctly. I'm prioritizing my biceps. But because I was nervous about that, because it's getting better, I threw on some knee sleeves to make sure I'm good to go. Overhead press, I was supposed to do 6 sets of 1 at 250. I could only get 1 set of 1 at 250, and then it just felt weird. So I backed it off, did 4 sets of 3 with 205, and I did 145 the week prior, and it was going up, like the last few sets, it was going up nice and smooth. But this week, for some reason, I was just like, it was not clicking. Probably needed to lean back more and just be more confident with that press. It just comes with time. I have to get more reps in the tank. That's just going to be what is necessary in order to develop a better overhead press. Moving on to today, I had some squats. So moving on today, high bar, no belt squats, 535 for just 1 set of 6. It's just kind of to train that movement pattern. Talking to my coach and figuring out what works best for my body. A higher frequency of lower body movements feels better for me. So, and I really enjoy my high bar beltless squats. I really like squatting. It feels really good to me, like really good to me. So very happy with that. Very happy how that moved. Just moved like butter. It just, to me, it felt like to be honest with you, it felt like a sexy squat to me. It just felt like a sexy squat to me. Then we also got some bicep movement in there. I'll tell you what I did for the bicep tendonitis before I did the curls, but those are spider curls. I'm trying to keep them very strict, so I'm not trying to swing them too much. I'm not trying to have the elbows come back. I'm trying to keep it very strict. Lay my chest over a bench, have the arms just kind of drape down, and then squeeze. I try to squeeze my shoulders down, get the good contraction in my lower traps, stabilize my shoulder, and then curl up from there. And got some, 3 sets of 4. Relatively heavy for that movement, but with good technique and good form. And if you do things with good technique and good form, you can train them heavy. It's not like, oh, biceps, I have to train 10 plus reps. No, you can actually go kind of heavy as long as the technique is 100. So 3 sets of 4 there, those felt really good. And then I ended the workout with a ruck. I throw on 45 pounds in my backpack. I try to walk a mile as fast as possible. My goal is pretty much 15 minutes, around 15 minutes, walk a mile. And I was watching a podcast out with Jocko and Arnold. And it was great. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I really enjoyed the podcast. I love Arnold. I've always loved Arnold. He got some heat a few years ago. I forgot what he said exactly, but it was during the whole vid crisis thing. And to me, I'm like, give the guy a break. He's probably more American than most Americans born here. I would say he's probably more American than like 90% of Americans born here. What he's done for the country, what he's done in this country, his pride for this country, Anyways, not to get on a rant about that. Let's talk about tendonitis and what to do for it. So I've had for 3-4 years now, an issue with tendonitis in my right knee. And because of that, I've looked into tons of different stuff. I've had PRP shots. I've done hours and hours and hours of prehab and physical therapy and all this stuff for my knee. And in the end, for my knee right now, what's worked the best is actually just
kind of, I don't want to say ignoring, but just continue to train. Like just choosing appropriate weights so I'm not as irritated, or choosing the appropriate frequency, weights, load, and all that for my knee. And that's what's been feeling the best, and that's where I'm most happy. I feel like a couple years ago, I got really obsessed with this idea that my knee needed to feel better. You know, the tendonitis developed into something that's chronic, and my knee needs to be 100%, my knee needs to be 100%, and I was overdoing this physical therapy, and just nothing was necessarily improving it. And then I took a step back, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do my workout. And it's been feeling great. It's been feeling the best it's had in a very long time. Now, that's a chronic thing. That's me personally with my knee. What happened with my bicep tendons, I've always had, knock on wood, I've always trained biceps really heavy. And when I was younger, I probably trained them really recklessly. Probably horrible form and all that. But because of that, I think, being younger, you can get away with it. But I also think it developed some significant resilience in my actual bicep tendons, right? So it's always felt pretty good. Then I go to Iceland, and I tried that 340 stone way too many times. I picked it up, as you guys saw in the video. I picked it up, I got it kind of to my lap, and then it dropped. But then I kept trying and trying and trying, and it was wet, it was slippery, it was just not, or to tell my past self, it was not ideal circumstances for trying to lift. And lifting up a stone, especially with bent arms, which I didn't realize I was really doing, you need to be lifting stones with as straight as arms as possible, which makes sense because that's what you want to do during the deadlift too. So it put a lot of tension into my bicep tendon and that elbow joint, right where my, like brachioradialis connects and all that. So like right there, I was getting very sore. And then I went the following week when I got back, I went for the max chin up, 184, was it 184.6 or 184.8? So almost 185 pounds, max chin ups again at 250 pound body weight. Super happy with that. But after that set, if I'm gonna be honest, I definitely felt it. My elbows were feeling it, right? It just felt like some tendinitis was developing. Could my training have been better? Obviously, yes, because then it wouldn't have happened. But I'm now, just dealing with this. So what do we do to fix it? One, there's good news on a few fronts. One, it's an acute injury. So it's not like it started developing slowly over time. I can think of the specific incidents of where it started bothering me and the things that I was doing wrong at the time. So it's an acute injury. With an acute injury, you need to hop on it as fast as possible, okay? My past self, being an idiot, I would have been like, oh, whatever, I can just keep training hard and it'll be fine. That's how you develop into something more than an acute injury. So recognize it's an acute injury, and then two, do what is best for tendons, and what do tendons like. So I've implemented two things. One, specifically on my left arm, because my left arm felt worse than my right arm, I started doing some blood flow restriction, or what is called flossing. If you look up Kelly Starrett, he talks about it, but it's flossing. So I take like an elastic band, kind of thick, about this thick. You can look up like flossing tape. It's not even tape really. It's like flossing rubber band. But I was flossing, so I wrapped my bicep really tight with the floss, from about the bottom portion of the muscle belly down to the top portion of my forearm, right, covering that area where it's inflamed. I wrap it really tight, and then I'll try to do a lot of like lightweight, a lot of reps. So this is also doing a couple things. One, whatever the flossing does, and two, a little bit of blood flow restriction. Blood flow restriction, I'm sure you can look up. I don't totally remember everything, the benefits of it, but if you look it up, blood flow restriction, it does have some good benefits if you cannot train super heavy, right? So we got the blood flow restriction going, and then we got some reps to get the blood in there, into the muscle, right? What heals things? It's blood. So if you're going to, we have to find a way to make sure we can get blood into the irritated areas. So that's going to be one. And then two, a very big thing with all tendonitis is going to be isometrics prior to when you go do the movement. There's two types of isometrics: overcoming isometrics and then maximal isometrics. So, wait, maybe overcoming isometrics and then, oh crap, I forgot the name of it. It's slipping me right now. Overcoming isometrics is a maximal isometric. So that's going to something that you cannot physically move, like a rack. So what I'll do is I just set a J hook up in a power rack, position myself in where my bicep tendon is exposed and where it might feel most irritated, and I try to curl maximally against that immovable object, creating an isometric. That's an overcoming. I'm trying to curl, but my obviously I'm not going to be able to rip the, not yet I should say, be able to rip the rack out of the ground with one arm. So I'm creating that isometric contraction, and those isometrics, I don't know specifically the mechanism, but it helps kind of ease the tension and the pain in the tendon. So that and it helps train the tendon. So your tendon likes a lot of like those isometrics, and the other isometric would be, I forgot the name of it, but it would basically be just holding the weight, right? So instead of like going exerting maximally against an immovable object, I would pick up an object that I could do for a few reps and I would hold it for about 30 seconds, right? Again, placing a nice amount of tension on the tendon, not too much, right? We're not causing damage there, but we're helping train the tendon to be stronger and more resilient. And then from there, you go into your whatever the movement is. And during those curls, I didn't feel any pain. No pain. I didn't feel any pain during the I felt a little discomfort in my forearm just because the knee pads, the knee sleeves were kind of pinching my arms a little too tight. So no real discomfort during the neutral grip chin-ups, no discomfort during the dips, no discomfort during the overhead press, no discomfort during the biceps I trained today. So doing those two things as far are super important. So if you got tendonitis, if it's an acute injury, one, prioritize recovery. Avoid movements that are going to really irritate it. So that's why I didn't go for a traditional chin-up, because that's what really irritated it. I went for a neutral chin-up. So I'm still training the movement. I'm still training similar muscles, basically with the same muscles in a little different way. So I can train the movement, I can train the muscles without irritating the specific, irritation, whatever is going on there. That's one. And then two is finding things that help boost your recovery. Blood flow restriction for me, and then those isometrics. Overcoming isometrics or maximal isometrics, where I'm pulling against a movable object. I think you can go up to like about between 6 and 10 seconds as hard as you can, right? It should feel good. It shouldn't feel more irritating. It should feel good. And then you also got the holding isometrics, about 35 to 45 seconds. Doing those two things, 2 to 3 sets, depends on what you need. Only do what you need, no more. Especially with this prehab stuff. Sometimes you see these guys, they're doing some type of prehab for whatever injury they have, and they're doing like 20 different exercises, all targeting basically the same thing, and they're wasting 30, 45 minutes. You should not be doing that. You need to find the 1 or 2 exercises that target the specific things that you need to work on for whatever it is, and then go from there. Most people should not be spending forever prior to their workout doing prehab movements. All right, another car talk. Again, guys, if you like the t-shirt, I see someone commenting that they really like the t-shirt, please go order it online. I really appreciate that. I just showing the support. Of course, if you like it. If you don't like it, don't get it. That's one. Two, if you guys are interested in taking up your game from just working out casually or whatever you're doing, if you want to take it up a notch, reach out to me for coaching, and we'll set up a call and we'll talk about how we can optimize your training for your goals. Other than that, hope you guys have a blessed one, and let's continue to work.